So I thought I'd just run you through an example of how the Volvo XC40 hybrids electric and petrol powertrains overlap, how they work, how you run it in electric power. So quite a good example here. We've got a steep uphill road with a 30 limit that goes to a 50 limit. So as you can see here, I'm keeping the power down beneath the threshold for where the petrol engine will fire up. That's symbolised by that little droplet there. So just to show you how much acceleration there is with the electric motors, here we are, steep uphill, 30 limit to 50 limit, accelerating. And as you can see, I can pick up enough speed to drive normally at a kind of normal rate without going over that threshold, without firing up the petrol engine. And it's perfectly viable to drive the XC40 in purely electric mode for most driving situations. You don't feel like you're having to crawl along or drive deliberately slowly just to stop the petrol engine from firing up. So for the 24 miles of electric range that you get, it's perfectly viable to cruise around on pure electric power, which I have been for most of the time with the car. But if you want a bit more acceleration, you just have to flatten your throttle a bit more, and as you can see, the needle goes over that threshold into the internal combustion engine, the little 1.5 litre turbocharged 3-cylinder. And now I'm on internal combustion power, but as you can see, there's no great transition in noise or anything else between the two. Frankly, you don't really notice it happening, and you can quite happily cruise along, switching between pure electric and hybrid assisted petrol engine without really noticing what's happening. So in that respect, it's a very seamless and well integrated system, and it works really well. The other impressive thing is that for that 24 miles, as I say, you can effectively drive this car as a zero emissions EV, which is really handy if most of your journeys are pretty short, if you're just doing the school run or shopping trips like I've been doing under lockdown. Over that whole period, I hardly put any fuel in the car at all. But then of course, when you go on a longer journey, you've got the petrol engine and all the range you could wish for. No range anxiety like you might have in a pure EV. It does, however, use quite a lot of fuel on the motorway and things like that, so you don't really get a huge efficiency benefit from being in a hybrid, so that's worth bearing in mind there. Anyway, I hope that was a useful demonstration of how the hybrid system in this XC40 works, and if you want to know more about how we've been getting on with this car, just check the long-term updates.